Hi everyone, it's Steph here from iffyandcards.blogspot.co.uk, and I'm just back to share with you another project, and this one follows on from my last video tutorial with the mini albums, if you watched that. And what it is I've made this huge box, and it will hold 4 mini albums in the side, and this finished dimensions is 4.5 by 4.5 by 5 inches tall. So what happens is when you undo the ribbon and you open it up, you can see they're just in there like that. And then what I've done is, I've got a little box in the inside. So I've got just some Halloween washi tape in there and some Tombow. So the idea is you give this as a gift and they'll have everything they need to put photos in straight away. So what we'll do is we'll just move this to one side and I'll show you what you need to make it. Right, there's quite a few pieces for this box. For the inside box, you need a piece of card that measures 9 inches by 9 inches. Then all you do is you score it on each side at 3 inches and keep rotating. Now this is in crumb cake, and we'll pop that to one side. I'll just give you all the measurements first. This is for the lid and also in crumb cake. And this measures 6 5/8 by 6 5/8. Then what you want to do is on each side score it at 1/2 inch and 1 inch. This will be obviously a reinforced lid. For the base of the card, of the box, sorry, this needs to measure 5.5 by 5.5 inches. Then just go around and score on all 4 sides at 1/2 inch. And then from the sides, look at me, that here, it's here. You need 4 of these, and these need to measure 5 by 5 inches, and then just score at 1/2 inch on one side. Okay, so what we want to do is we'll start with the lid first. So you just want to go ahead and fold and burnish. So this is the base, not the lid. And as you can see, I have tried putting my adhesive on just to try and keep this video nice and short if I can. Then just come in with your snips, and as with any box base, what we want to do is you just want to cut up to that score line and then take a small wedge out of each side. Okay, well, it's stuck. Just do the same on all 4 corners. Just keep going round. Just like that, get rid of that rubbish. Oh, a bit hasn't come out. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pokey tool and I'm just going to take the adhesive off these 4 tabs here. And we're just going to make it into a box as like any other we've done previously. I love this red tape, but I hate it because the backing is so static, it just sticks to you all over. Oh, come on. There we go. One more. Right, so that's all of them off, and then what you want to do is you just want to fold them round and line them up, and then just press in and just do the same on all 4 sides. I think this would make a great gift for anybody. What I'm planning on doing with this one, I think, is I've only got 3 more shifts left at my current job, so I'm going to give this away to one of the girls who I work with. I think she'll really like it. You know, exciting times ahead, that's definitely. Right, what we'll do now, we'll just set that to one side because we don't need that. We'll go ahead and fold and burnish this bit for our inner box. And we might as well get all that done. And then I've put my snips. Oh, there they are. tell you, I'm a nightmare. I put stuff down and then... So again, we want to cut up to that first score line. And then I'm just going to take a slight wedge out. Like that, just make sure. I'm going to take a slight one off here as well. I'm doing it very straight. Come on. And also what I'm going to do is I'm just going to snip a little bit off the length. And that's just so it doesn't get caught or anything like that. And that'll just sit on there like that. So I'm just going to do the same on all 4 corners. I was really chuffed with this little box when it came out how I wanted to. It's not very often that I have that many good ideas, to be honest. And then again, what I should have done in hindsight was I should have windmilled these the way I'm cutting them. Otherwise we're going to have a really bulky box, but I'll show you how to fix that. So what I'm going to do, so it's not as bulky, I'm going to take quite a chunk off here, off each of the tabs, because I should have done it in a windmill effect, and this will just, it'll still add a little bit of bulk onto your box, but it won't be as much as what it was. And I'll show you, I've got an idea as well what we can do to hide most of these sections here. Just get rid of my rubbish. There we go. Right, so see what you want is you want adhesive on all of these 4. I'm just going to use my fast fuse for this. Just want to run it down all 4 tabs. Oh, I've missed one. There we go. Then again, with the tray of the box, you just want to line that up. Make sure it's nice and stuck down, and keep going round until your box is formed. So, down a bit there. I don't like that bit. Last one. Just line it up, press it down. If you want, you can get your bone folder in there just to make sure that's all nice and stuck down. So when we've built it up, this is going to sit in here like this, and then these gaps here are for where your folders will sit. Sorry, I'm getting all lost off with my words here, aren't I? Right, so what we're going to do with this, don't have to fold and burnish yet, but the stamp set I'm using to decorate this is this one, hardwood. It's one of my favourites. I love it. It gives such a good effect as well. Because I haven't got a block big enough, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay this down on my grid paper, and then this is early espresso card. Sorry, by the way, I can't remember if I told you that. So I'm just going to do tone on tone stamping with early espresso ink. I'm just going to ink all over this stamp. Make sure it's nice and inked up. Get it all over me everywhere. And just pop that away for the time being. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up. So obviously this bit is where they're going to join together. Just line that up on your stamp, and then just go over it like this. You could, if you've got a stamp positioning tool, use that. or if you've got the bigger block, that would be great. But obviously I don't have that. And then just lift it off. There's a little bit at the bottom, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. So that's that. I'll quickly clean this stamp. It's got some inexpensive baby wipes here. Listen to the squeakiness. Squeaky clean. Right, so we'll just put that back in the box. And next, what I'm going to do, I want to create the window. So for this, I have used our Layering Squares thinlits, framelits even. Yeah, these ones here. And the one I've used, 1 second, I'll just double check. Is it this one? No. Might be in. Yeah, it was this one here. So, oh, I'll move them up so you can see them. It's the one that sits on this side. And what you want to do is you just want to line that up so it's fairly even. And remembering, because you've got your 1/2 inch lid, that'll come down. So I'll try and move it down a little bit so you're going to be able to see that going round. So then what you do is you just want to run that through your Big Shot and cut that out. But save the inside piece. And also, while I'm on, I'll just show you what other bits I used with these as well. For the top, what I've done is I've cut a scallop square in Early Espresso, a piece of our copper foil from the next size down. Then I've used one of the straight squares and I've cut another piece of Early Espresso, and then another one with a piece of crumb cake. And I'm going to stamp onto there, and I'm going to pop this on the top of our box. So I used all of these dies for that. So what we'll do in true Blue Peter style, pop that to one side because I have got 4 I've already done. So when they're done, they will look like this, and you just want to put adhesive down that 1/2 inch strip. And then what we're going to do is we are going to take off the release paper and then get the next one, and you want to line it up. So not so it's on the score line, just in front of it, like that. Yeah, that's about right. Maybe it's a little bit off, but it'll be okay. You just want to do that with all of them. Well, I do. That's how I do it. If you find a way that's easier for you, then, you know, obviously please feel free to do that. Just going to attach. And then this last one. But leave the tape on the, don't take it off the very last one, the one that's on the end here. Not yet. Right, so then what we're going to do is we're going to just put this last one on. Oh, once I can get it straight, that is. Right, I think I might be slightly off. It is, but it'll be okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put the sides on our box. And this is why I've got adhesive going around here, because I find that it will be easier. And what we're going to do is we're just going to sit and line that up on here and keep on going round until it's all stuck together. Okay, I just I didn't even burnish those folds, did I? Don't forget to burnish your folds, it would help. Oh, that one's really cockeyed, that one. That'll be okay. Right, so I'm going to take one of these off here. Actually, you know what it is? I'm jumping ahead again. Whoops. Just ignore me a second. One thing I'm forgetting to put on is the acetate for the windows. That would help, wouldn't it? Excuse me. So what I've done is I've just used my paper trimmer and I've cut 4 pieces of acetate that measure 3 by 3. And they should just sit on there. So we'll quickly go and pop them on before we construct our box. I think this is because I'm trying to, you know, keep this as short as possible. Because bless you just do have to put up with a lot when on my camera. So there's the first one on. mean, you could use the 11 squares to cut just the biggest square out, and that would cover this window. Cat hair. Tell my cats are being on my workstation, can't you? Yeah, I just cut these at 3 by 3 and just used my tape. I think my tape is 1/8 of an inch. So it's just a perfect fit, really. Just got one more to do after this. Just line that up like that, and then this is the last one. Oops. Oh god, that's the joys of having 4 kitties. I love them to bits, but God, they moult so much. Right, so that's what you'll have. You'll have your little acetate windows. And just bear with me while I get rid of all this static mess. It's doing me head in. I can't cope. Right. Now we can bring back this piece and the bit that we've removed our sticky off. And what you want to do is you just want to line that up as close to the bottom. Oh, just like that. Just press that down. Sticky all over. And then I'll take some off here. What you could have done was actually laid it on the card like how it's sat now. It might be a bit easier for you. It would have been a bit easier for me too, I think. And then you just want to line, make sure that's all nice and straight again. And then take off this piece and just do exactly of what we've just done. I'm trying to see the best way to get you in shot. Like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to, oh, sorry, we're not going to whack the camera, not on purpose anyway. Just going to peel these off. I'll probably get it all over now, but you know. And also we're going to just stick that side down here, and then we're going to take the release paper off this side. Like that. So you just want to bring this around and line it up at the bottom first. Make sure that you're happy with where that is, and then just come in and that'll sit there nicely. So, and we've got those, and there is our box. I like it in this colour actually, looks so pretty. Right, so what we're going to do, I told you to keep those insides from the windows we cut out here, and if you want to, you could go ahead and you could just glue them on the inside of here. So I think I'm going to go and do that. I just need my Tombow, which I've left in the other box. I was going to put them on the outsides as well, but I don't think it needs it. Just something to make it look nice and neat on the inside. Oh. And it covers up there. Yeah, I just think it looks quite nice. I like using liquid glue doing stuff like this, because otherwise it does give me a little bit of wiggle room. Keep on going all the way around. You're happy and you've got them. Don't do like me, at least get them straight. It's not too bad actually. And this is the last one. And there's that, and then that is just going to sit inside like that. I might as well do that now. What I like to do is I'm just going to bring the albums back, all 4 of them, and I like to just at least have 2 so I know where I'm going to put it and make sure that they're all going to fit in. Gives me a little bit, you know, idea of where my box is going to sit the best. So what we'll do is we'll just pull that out and then just apply some Tombow on the back. I like to apply quite a bit just to make sure that it's not going anywhere. And then what I'll do before it sets, I'll stick this one in to get it in like that, and then just go in with my bone folder and just make sure that that's how I want it. And there you go, that is our gorgeous little mini albums in the box ready. What we'll do is we'll stick our Tombow and also our washi tape in there. Now all we've got to do is do the lid, and for the lid is this piece back. So we just want to do a quick little bit of cutting. So obviously you want to cut up here, wedge that bit out and cut off that bottom piece here, and then just wedge in just like any other reinforced box I've done or you've seen anybody else do. So your corners will look like that, and you just want to go up and do exactly the same on all 4 sides. Just take this off and up again, cut them 2 off, cut that one, yeah I have, and then take that out of here, wedge in the sides and take that little bit off here. Then this is the last one that we're on now. I promise you, near the finish line now. Not much left to do. Just, you know, I just think this is lovely. I'd love to know, you know, if you like it, if you, you know, I just think it'll be a great gift for somebody, I really do. So now that we've done that, we'll go ahead and fold and burnish our score lines. And that one too. Just keep on going round burnishing your score lines. Okay, and as you can see, you need adhesive on these 4 tabs here and then on the underside of this flap. So go ahead and put this together. Oh, damn. This red tape is pain in my bum. Right, so as we normally do, just take that up to form the lid. Like that. And then now we can take off these strips along here. And just, it's a little case of just folding that over. Oops, I've just headbutted the camera. I'm sorry about that. Been a lot of camera wobbling today, hasn't there? Might need to reevaluate my camera setup, I think. Right, so then look at this, it's sticking all over. I'm not using this no more. I love it, it's just, it's too static. There we go. Just pop them in like that. Now, with any luck, bring your box back in. And that there is a perfect fit for our box. So what we're going to do is leave that on there like that. We want to bring in our little squares that we pre-cut earlier. And on this one, I'm going to use a sentiment from this stamp set, and this is the Bookcase Builder. I just think this is great. And the one I'm going to use today, 1 second, I'll just measure them up. Yeah, it's that one. Is the one that says, today's little memories become tomorrow's precious moments. And I just think it's really apt, especially, you know, with the being photo albums. So again, using our early espresso ink here, just going to ink that up. I'm just going to bring it down so I can see if I can go as simple as I can. And there we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run the edges in the ink. I didn't bring my dauber up. Oh, straight in my finger. Then we'll just pop that to one side, let it dry a couple of minutes while we assemble the rest of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my fuse. I'm just trying to think, do I want that popped up? I don't, I'm just going to touch this with some fuse. Oh, let me break my fuse. That's not good, is it? Oh, I think I have. I think I broke it. It just doesn't like me, fuse. Right, let's see if I've fixed it. Not really, but it might. No, it's not. Tombow. Where's my trusty Tombow? It's in here, isn't it? Just get these bits off here. Yuck. Nothing ever goes smoothly. And just put some glue on here like that. And then line this up. And you're happy with it? It should be dry now, so I'm going to attach this to the other smaller early espresso panel. Just attach that on there like that. And I'm going to keep all of this down flat, because then the whole thing I'm going to pop on dimensionals. And just center that like that. The sentiment would have been nice done in heat embossed copper powder, but I don't actually have any copper powder, so that's why I've just used that. Turned over and get my dimensionals. Just put one in each corner and then one in the middle. That's just my personal choice. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to centre that there. I just think it gives a nice little touch. Then last but not least, just want to show you this gorgeous ribbon. This is our copper trim and it is 1/4 inch wide. I mean, how gorgeous is that? What we're going to do is we're going to use some of this just to tie around. I won't tie any off yet. So you just want to pop your box on the middle and make sure you've got enough. And then just cut some off there. And we're just going to attempt to tie a beautiful bow. I'm just going to turn it around, because if I do my bows upside down they tend to come out better. Don't know if anybody else is like that. What I do is move this up. Right there, we're just going to move that so it's here, because I don't want to cover that beautiful sentiment. Sort it out, make it nice and pretty. I'm sure your bow will be fantastic compared to mine. My bows have a life of their own. Just trying just to get this a bit more. That will have to do. And then I'm just going to trim these ends, just like that. And there we have it, our gorgeous little gift box to hold 4 mini albums and some adhesive to pop in. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.